Hello guys, I'm Kirill. This young man is a founder of a very famous company. It's called THIESEN Berlin. And the company established almost 50 years ago. 50 years ago, I was a kid, you know? and this young man was very young and did that. So I will try to explain to you, all of you, how is it going over 50 years to run the company, which is represent to the public, such things like classic cars, very expensive, very beautiful, etc. So how did you start it?
My partner has started the business in Hamburg, Eberhard THIESEN, in 1972. We are friends since 1978 or so, and I started this business here in Berlin together with him in 2002. I was the first one to rent space here. And we started with smaller cars, of course, and getting more up. And now we're trying to be in the portfolio of 500,000 euros upwards. Cars like that, or this Ferrari one-off, or this McLaren Sterling Moss, and outside also we have lots of cars. We have always around 100 cars approximately in our portfolio, lots of them 7-digit cars, and of course we have some cars off market. That works quite well.
So is there differences between in the 70s when you started it and now? What's changed?
Yes, the market changes all the time. We have waves up like from 2010 to 2015 when the cars were getting more and more expensive monthly almost, and then everyone who has experience knows that this will not go on forever. So in 2016 it was going down again, and now we have a kind of solidation on that, and the valuable cars are getting up again, and the other cars are difficult to handle.
By the way, what about the crises, world crises? Is it influenced your business?
Yes, it is. Of course, we have a global market, and we have areas in that market which don't have problems and which can buy and want to buy. Saudi Arabia, Dubai, and markets like that expand and go up and up and up. But we can see that the people here in Europe, which is a small market, they say, okay, we have the money and we saw what you have there. We are very interested, but we don't know if this is the right moment to buy. So that makes it a little bit difficult, yes. But always when you have something special, and this is our policy, that is really interesting, really rare, and so on, it's almost not a problem to sell these cars because they are much sought after.
So the classic car is a good investment.
Classic car always is a good investment, and the more expensive the cars are, the better is the investment, of course. If you buy a car for 10,000 euros and you have an increase rate of 10%, you have then 11,000 euros, and you spend perhaps 2,000 to have the car ready and change oil and things like that, maintenance it. And if you buy a car for 1 million and it is going 10% up, you have 1.1 million. This is a deal, and the oil is the same.
But in your opinion, what is the best investment for the classic car that you can actually drive? Not to be a real estate for 1 million, you know, because it's not safe to drive such a good car like this, you know?
Yeah, I understand. The most valuable things are always the cars that were delivered and produced in a very small number, with the biggest engine that it was available, and in a special color. That's the best investment. And everything that was done 100,000 times or 1 million times is not much sought after. Of course, you can buy that everywhere.
Okay. But what about the demands, the demands from when we started to rent this office, and here it's 25 years, almost yes. The time period is a different approach for the public. For example, I don't know, maybe when you started here, they want to buy, I don't know, Mercedes 190, and maybe now something changed. I mean that the audience is growing. So the guy, when he could visit you when you opened this office in 2002, yes, now he's 25 years older. So maybe he changed the guy, your customer made such change the preference, or maybe he will earn some more money when, for example, he can start from ordinary car, and after that he will grow up and buy something like this or not.
Yeah, of course, this changes in the public eye. This is not our portfolio. This is something that we learned during the last 50 years. We are also growing with that business and having a different point of view on that. We started with Mercedes 170s from 1950 or so, and in the 20 years later, it was the ponton cars and SLs, and sometimes the 300Ls for very small money from the point of view that we have today. And now the public is looking for the cars of the 80s, 70s a little, which was 10 years ago, the cars of the 50s and some 60s. Now it's 70s and 80s. But in total, from our point of view, it's always the cars that are done in limited production with the biggest engine and so on. 20 years ago, a Mercedes R129, SL60 or SL72 or SL73, those were very limited production cars, only for very rich people that could buy them new. Now they are sought after from the collectors because they are 30 years old and difficult to find, mostly sitting in the collection, and the people won't sell, so that all raises the prices.
Okay, that's good. So how do you see the future of this business? Will it grow? Will it expand?
Yeah, that's a difficult question. We don't believe in this electro cars, and the people don't know about these cars a lot because they look only what is the cost of the car and that they have no emission, but they don't see that they have to watch the whole process to get the stuff that they need to build the batteries and all these things, lithium and other stuff, which makes very big damages to the environment and all these things. And it's not a new idea. We had that stuff 130 years ago already. But the people don't know that. Mostly they think that's a new invention and they have to go with that. And I think there is no big future unless they did find will find a new system for batteries, which is good for the environment, and then this might be possible. We still see, or we now see that people come from the design point of view and say, oh, we love these lines of the cars and the shape of the car and
But you know that actually a real classic is very hard to drive, actually, yes. For example, this SL 190, yes, it has only a mechanical gearbox, no air conditioning, etc. So from the current point of view of young people, it's quite difficult to drive because they can't even change the gear. Because it's very easy just to push the button and drive.
Yeah, that's right.
No navigation, no climate control, etc.
That is the same with the Chinese market. Since 10 years or so, we say, oh, the Chinese market will come up and they will buy classic cars because they have a lot of money. But that will not happen, and I think that will never happen because they never had these things in mind like our customers have that. They come to my office and say, when I was like this, I had a Dinky Toys car from Aston Martin DB5, and I always said when I'm growing up and I have enough money, I buy such a DB5 out there. Yeah? And these dreams, or the first car I remember in my life was when I was some height like that, 4 years or so, a 300L Gullwing. No one in China has that. They have never seen these cars on the road. No DB5, no Ferraris, no 300L Gullwing. This is all unknown for them, and they have not in mind that they want to have that when they are rich. So that's
you're not
dreams,
cars.
talking about dreams.
You're offering the dreams.
Yes.
It's not just a selling eventually.
Yes.
That's philosophy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's be more optimistic. What are your plans for the next year? Will be participate in some exhibition like next Pebble Beach?
We did a lot of that stuff in the last 30 years or so. We're going to Pebble Beach. I was winning third in class with that Horch 855 Special Roadster in 2023, and I have also won the class with the Benz Victoria from 1893 in 2012. And so we go from, not always with the car, but we visit Pebble Beach very often because this is the most important event in the world for classic car collectors. And we rally a lot. Doing Mille in Italy, I did that 7 times, and I was the Mille in Dubai 3 times, and Grand Premio Nuvolari and things like that. London, Brighton for the cars from 1896 to 1904. I did that 7 times, and next year we will probably go to Villa d'Este again with a special Mercedes that a customer of mine has, and probably also to Rome. There is also a nice concours d'élégance which was held in this year the first time, as far as I know. I will check that. Things like that.
Okay, that's good. So let's make fingers crossed and meet in Villa d'Este next year.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. The car there and bring it back home.
And you can make a maintenance, change the oil.
I sold this car 15 years ago or something like that, and it's now worth $1 million more than the